14. We're going to do the two-piece set test in ISA today. I've already been able to play with it a little bit, and so far it's looking pretty decent. But I'm going to first have my pilot ship tester speak up for himself.
Hey, this is Scott Ross at SA Ross 0219. So my setup here yep, I'm here. You hear me? Oh, hi! I keep forgetting. Ha! Hey, this is Scott at SA Ross 0219. I got the pilot ship right now. I'm using the Science on the Romulan side. It's using dual heavy cannons. That's all disruptors, along with the two-piece resonance beam set.
We'll actually be able to test two separate ways of having the resonance disruption set, and we also get to see pilot ship in action. Now, obviously, I'm not flying it. Had some issues with my bank account being stolen to some degree today, so I will be able to purchase it today. That'll probably be in the next week, and it's mainly for the science trait. So we'll just have to wait and see. But we will get to see Scott test it out. Oh, there he is in the background. Which that was a funny thing, Scott. I get off of work and find that someone in Florida had stolen my bank card. Oh, nice maneuver. And tried to spend $100 on fuel. I'm assuming for a boat.
Nice.
So that was a nice little talk with the bank about canceling my card. You know, I like the look of that. That is, you know, from a certain perspective, it looks like a grasshopper.
Well, let's put it this way. This is actually a combination of all three ships.
Oh, so you did a custom build on this?
Yes, I did. I didn't like the science ship the way it looked, so I decided to change it up a little.
Yeah. Holy. Now, was that the full?
That's the full booster there. I'm going to come right in at you in about right there. 5 kilometers out it takes you.
No, that's not a bad ability.
That's not bad at all, especially like in a dual beam bank or a cannon build like I got. It's a great way to back up and be able to still hit your targets.
Yeah, and considering cannons, I mean, I know the whole thing about the damage drop-off, but you literally get in close, hug your enemy, and let loose for the full damage, and then hop backwards.
Yeah,
shields.
And you can see how quick I'm doing this. I mean, this is like one after the next, basically.
Yeah, I'm noticing you're able to activate them about 2, maybe 3 seconds after each other.
Yeah, thereabouts.
Okay. Well, do you want to hug an ISA, or do we have 3 people that we can bring in?
It doesn't matter to me. We can do either way.
Okay, let's see if we've got anybody. I would have loved to bring Odin, but it looks like Odin is not on. Just texting 1 or 2 people.
No problem.
See if I can get Proteus and then the guy that brought me into my fleet, Blackling Task Force. Fleet for my secondary character. If not, we can plug it.
Yeah, it won't matter to me either way. I mean, last I took this out, it was doing at least 30k with a pug group, so
not bad.
No, it's not like the scimitar. It's got a lot of downfalls as far as damage capabilities, but you know, for having a ship that is different than the rest, it's kind of why I'm liking these ones more.
Yeah. Plus, like I said, I really want that trait.
Yeah, the trait is going to be huge because if you're about half throttle and you got it with the full impulse going, you get 15% right there.
Yeah. Then you get 5% from the delta rep, so just those two right there is 20%. And
Yep.
if it stacks with any kind of pin modifiers on weapons, it's pretty much you're constantly ignoring shields, especially depending on what weapons you use.
Yep. And if you're not at full impulse, but you're full on engines, it is doing 7.5. Not with engines max. Let me pull up and get the engines max real quick here. Max engines. Give it a second here. Goes up to 10.9.
Still, not a bad bonus at all.
No. And you can almost fly in these ships, especially. You can almost fly at full speed and still keep control pretty well.
User disconnected from your channel.
Who disconnected?
Spencer.
Oh, okay. If you guys want to get in the background, Spencer is the guy that one of the many guys in our topic discussion about the pilot ships the other day. One of the I consider legends of STO. All right. I'm just gonna speed this up. And Regulus is going to get the science pilot tomorrow. Yeah, so I'm saying, like, you would have thought the tactical would have been what brings all of the money, and it ended up actually being the science, which is the funny thing to me.
Yeah, the science. You know, in the end, all of them are very beneficial because they got the exact same slot loadout. The only difference really is if you actually want to use the 4 engineer or the 4 science or the 3-3 science engineer split, which is actually almost the identical setup as the scimitar, only it doesn't have the 3rd aft and the hangar bay.
Yeah.
So,
which I think it's kind of funny that you can almost mirror that. We turn this on. Well, let's go.
There's the lock trajectory. There we go.
Of course, the lag is real. Used to these things. Get away, get away. Ooh. And guys out there on YouTube, you'll have to forgive me. This is my first ISA with this ship, so I'm probably looking very rusty with this thing, but I promise I am better than this. So I have to admit, I really like this ship.
Yeah, they are. The Avenger, like it was saying, is a very powerful ship.
Stay close. My piloting leaves much to be desired. So where am I going? Wow. Which it is looking like the trait does proc from resonance. It procs a decent amount, just like your plasma explosions with fire at will, but the big one is the torpedo. We all figured with the 33% that was going to be the one to always hit.
Yeah, that was definitely a look on that one there. And I can definitely tell I'm not used to cannons.
Telling you. Last time I run a dual beam bank build was Shell Grit back during the Christmas holidays.
The one time you can do a power slide as you're shooting.
Yeah. Oh! That was a terrible look. That was slightly embarrassing. But it is probably a standard thing for people nowadays, especially today. New ship plus lag equals lots of death.
Oh yeah. What's... The only problem with the locked directory is it locks you in on your path.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. I just got locked in and I couldn't even go flying. Well, that was fun.
I'm telling you. Oh, wait a minute. Did you just pop the console?
Did I?
Someone did, I thought.
If you're talking the torpedo console, yes.
That's what I thought. Oh, dadgummit. Wait a minute, what?
Nanite.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. God, you random people suck. Well. Might as well go out fighting.
I'm helping out of there. So that confirms one thing for me. Cannons, not that good.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice that they tried to give a buff for it, but still.
Yeah. The interesting thing to take note of is with the ability to reroute reserves to weapons. That is actually doing a lot of boost into the weapon itself. I've seen, even on the dual beams, it doing more damage than fire at will. So, well, it was fun.
It
Back to
was.
back to dual beams on this ship.
Yep. As for me, it proves one thing. I really need to work on my dual beam bank. Because I kind of suck at dual beam bank right now. But it's okay, I'll just switch to my other ship. But it is fun to run that.
Oh yeah.
That's weird.
What's up?
Well,
Is it tight?
bless. There it is. Momentary lag when I switch starships for the bridge officer trays to come up properly.
And
Yeah.
so these pilot ships are actually, like I was saying earlier, has been a lot of fun to fly them. Over by comparison between it and the Scimitar, I think I actually like these a lot better for their setup and what they're capable of doing. You know, it feels like you're flying. It's not just like you're on a boat in a river going downstream.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I'll be the first one to admit, I love my Odyssey. I'm flying it right now. I love my Odyssey, but turns like a brick.
Yes.
And I love her to death. I'll never get rid of her, and I'll probably still be my main ship, but I'd rather have something with a little bit more maneuverability, even if it does end up being a beam boat. Because I have been thinking about doing a Chell Gret as a beam boat.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking the pilot ships might be worthy of a dual beam bank setup and actually get something done.
Yeah, it's one of the interesting things with this ship is it's a different scale of flying because I don't know how to explain it besides the fact that you're not really feeling bound to only being able to like use the rock and roll to do a barrel roll. You're now left and right. You're doing the aileron moves. Is what it is. It's not an actual barrel roll that you're doing.
True.
But you know, are these pilot ships going to take over as the new Scimitar and the new Fleet Patrol Escort refit? No, not by a long shot. Could they? Could they? Depends on the setup. And I think it would depend on the setup with the pilot used to the ship and no lag. You can get a one of these pilot ships up into the 75K channels of the DPS range easily. However, I think there's better things to come down the pipes.
Of course. I'm still waiting to see the T6 Sovereign Borcha Valdor setup. Because I think that's going to be the next, like, really big one.
Yes.
The only reason I can say that is because we had a Galaxy Iridex come out as T6. So they're trying to pander for people that they know that even now, all the different options they've come out with, they're still not tearing people out of the current ships they've had since the moment they were released.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, one of the things that some people are suspecting, it's going to be a matter of them getting every single ship up into the T6 era, and they're going to end up replacing everything eventually.
Oh,
and it's one of those things that's going to happen. And if they continue to make abilities like these pilot ships, in my opinion, it will make Star Trek seem more like a game you're actually in a vehicle that can fly. Now, are you going to see these type of maneuvers on the big ships like a Scimitar? I don't think so. You're not going to see that. You got lucky to get the rock and roll feature from the pilot tree. All right, but overall, I think more of the small ships, you'll start seeing more and more of them that's going to have these abilities, and people is going to end up enjoying that because it gives a new perspective on flying in Star Trek.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm still calling it. I believe I said this. I might have said this during our group discussion. I am still calling flagship class for T6 Audi, Scimitar, and Borderskew. I think that's going to be the niche that they're going to go for. And the flagship ability is going to be allowing for you to call in a fleet. And, they might just be NPCs, but it'll be like a carrier function. So you'll be able to call in 3 NPC starships and then have carrier-like commands for them.
Yep. The interesting thing is, one of the rumors that I'm seeing is a new version of the C-Char, which is a command variant. And if they do that, that could be interesting.
Oh, absolutely.
And the C-Char was just barely released as a T6 ship, and it was before like all the command stuff and the pilot stuff, and it definitely would be a command ship. I don't think they need to release a new one. I think they need to update it and all the past ones that's been released to be command variants, because really when it comes down to it, it should have been in the first place.
Yeah.
The
other part of that is going to be interesting to see, and I hated to interrupt you. I didn't mean
Oh, no, you're fine.
What additional specializations are going to come down the road along with the ships? Because they've been trying to, whenever they release a command tree, they release command battlecruisers. With the new pilot, they ended up releasing pilot.
Yep.
I'm thinking when they start releasing the next packs, they're going to come up with more and more specializations. And what I would like to see, and Cryptic, if you end up watching it, I know I'm a small channel, but whatever. If y'all end up watching this, one thing that would be good for what y'all are trying to do with, making sure everybody is balanced, a tactical specialization tree, a science, and an engineering. Just to further spec out the different abilities for each class. That's just me. What do you think, Scott?
Well, that's one of the things they could very well do very easily. And one of the things I understand that they're looking at doing is actually redoing and redefining how the skills are being done. To make it more like a tree instead of a bar that you are stuck with things. It's like you can't even learn to become something else.
Yeah.
And that's really not how Star Trek ever was. You could become you could be the science officer that was a captain, but you also took the time to learn other aspects of other areas of profession. So here in Star Trek, you're stuck with what you get, but if they do what they sound like they're going to do, you're not going to be bound to that, and you're going to actually have a tree for the skills instead.
And that would be interesting. Like, a side captain that could do the tactical profession. Like, they have access to the science profession, they can max out the science profession, but then through possible training manuals, they could max out the engineering or the tactical, and maybe have dual professions or all three, depending on how they implement it.
Or go even further, you can get yourself a true to canon style ship that is maxed out for both projectiles and for energy weapons.
And that would be fantastic. It was kind of going on my theory that for the people that want the pure canon builds that that match Star Trek, you could easily implement a torpedo specific slot. So like, I'll bring up my ship right here. You'd keep your 4-4 setup for your Odyssey, but then you'd also have a torpedo-specific slot fore and aft that would only be torpedoes. And then you, for the classic people, hey, I feel like I'm running a ship straight out of the series. For DPS runners, those slots could be used for set torpedoes that would enhance their abilities.
Yeah.
And it would give something to everyone. It would
You know,
literally be someone for everyone.
if they went to that point, I think that would be running into a realm of starting a new version of Star Trek Online. Honestly, it's almost to a point where it probably could be. It would be nice, and if they did it, I can think of half a dozen ways to redo Star Trek so that you have canon correct ships, but B, so you also have ways that you have to upgrade your ship, and instead of these ship hopping from level 10 to level 20 type stuff, you have to refit your ship to match your new level and the new skills that goes along with that level.
But they would have to be careful with what ships they use in that instance. And the only reason I say that is because the Constitution refit they offer. Granted, I love the Excalibur, and I still have that T2 Excalibur, but that would be probably one of the few things they couldn't use that'd be stuck at its current level because they don't want an in-game Connie.
Yes, you would have to have
I should say.
Yeah, you would have to have a limit on the ships, but you could do it fairly easily, and you can do it in such a way that besides just the a captain that has like 30, 40 ships because he's a ship collector like some people are. Not going to speak for myself personally, but you can make a benefit so that if a person did focus on one ship, in my case obviously it would have been my scimitar that it focused on, but they could have benefits of being able to know the ship inside and out and things that unlock it after you have your ship for so long.
Oh, absolutely, and I think they've actually got that in the game already for T5 to T5U. It would be a simple thing of, okay, you're Tier 1, when it gets to Tier 2, you have the option of either getting the free token that you get for a new ship, or you could get a free next tier upgrade, and then you just apply it to the current ship.
Yep.
That'd be very easily, because they already have that coding in the game to some degree.
Yep, and the only thing they would have to do is just put that hard coding so that you can't, once again, take your MX-01 up to Tier 6 and be happy with it.
Yeah, there will be certain limitations, but with the exception of one or two ships, it looks like they've made higher classifications of them, especially at the fleet level.
Well, let's take a look at like the Defiant. The Defiant has a Tier 3, a Tier 5, and a Tier 5 view.
And technically, with the pilots, I would consider this the closest to a T6 Defiant that we've had.
Yep. I'm going to switch out to my Federation captain real quick here, and pull out the Fed ships.
Which I'll beam out to. I'll let you know which engines I'm in so we can show it off.
Okay.
I'll go near the shipyards.
But in the end, these ships are probably as close to the Defiant as you can get, really.
Oh, absolutely. I think this is their answer for 6 Defiant. Like, you're not going to get a pure T6, even if you modify the ship, but you'll have something that's very close.
Yep. And they may still come out with a Tier 6 Defiant later on down the road. However, for the interim time, I think I would rather have this as a Defiant replacement. Because if you think about it, like someone like Odin, who uses a torpedo build, he could totally, without any question, be able to do anything he needs to and dodge out of the way of things easily.
Oh, absolutely. I'm in Sol System 6, by the way.
Okay.
And quite honestly, with what they've done with these pilot ships, if they were to make a actual T6 Defiant, I think they'd have to go one further in the pilot. It would have to be a 5-3 weapon loadout. It would probably definitely have to have 5 tactical consoles and probably a 3-3 on science engineering. But they'd have to be a 5-3. They'd have to one up it to make people happy. Otherwise, they're gonna be like, well, this is just a redo of the pilot ship. So I've already got one of those. I really don't need the Defiant. I think they're gonna have to one up it a little bit if they were to do one.
Oh yeah, they're gonna have to find some way, and that's gonna be the thing with any of the T5 ships that's out there. They're gonna have to find some way to make you want to leave that ship. If you are not leaving that ship, they are not doing their job.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I've been saying for a while now. They have to come out with a T6 Odyssey, Fortescue, and Scimitar, because you still, after the moment Delta Rising came out with Intel ships, you still have people that they might have bought those ships, but they still fly a Scimitar or an Odyssey full time, and you're not going to get them out of it until you give them an upgraded version.
Yep.
And the way they screwed themselves with and I'm not trying to have them undo it, the T5U ability. Once they gave us the T5U ability, why would we need to pay 3,000 Zen for a new starship when I can pay 700, keep the one I've got, and improve it even further?
Exactly, and that's one of the things that I think they could have done a little differently, because you're not going to get me out of my Scimitar unless you're going to get a ship that's going to be better than it. It's going to make it look like crap.
Yeah, it has to make what you have now look like crap. Now these pilot ships, I think they might be able to make a fleet Defiant look bad, possibly. And part of that could be weapon setup, because I think even the fleet Defiant is a 4-3.
Yep. You know, the weapon setup on these versus the Defiant is a much more ideal for DPS, and that's one of the things I liked best about what they did here. They didn't just say, here you go, here's 9 ships and they're all going to be different. They're all the same, and each one of them that's there is a ship that is well worth a DPS setup that you can do for any sort of instance.
Oh, absolutely. And that is going to help a lot of players when it comes to, well, you don't show enough love to the KDF. You don't show enough love to the Romulans. Well, they've shown equal love to everybody in this one.
Yep, every single ship is exactly the same for the most part. There's no difference between a Fed versus a Romulan versus a KDF, besides small, minuscule differences.
Of course, I've got a little tiny shuttle who wants to fly around me. Hello, Retribution. Are you bringing me supplies in my starship? Sorry. I've got plenty of tribbles.
We got plenty of bugs in the system.
Oh, hey, now there's the one that... And guys, if you see it, flying it around, I'm trying to zoom in on it. That right there. This right here is the one that, if I was to buy one, that's what I would get. That is the Icarus class Science Pilot Defiant. And like I said, the only reason I would do that is, let's see here. Okay, well, yeah, I don't mind having an extra friend. The whole armor penetration we've been talking about. This comes with a trait where, so long as you're at 75% throttle or more, you get 15% armor penetration, and that is a huge number.
One thing I want to correct on, it is at least 50% with full impulse going on.
Oh, gotcha. You did say you were checking with the power levels.
Yes.
But 15% armor penetration is huge when you count in the Delta Rep armor pen and the upcoming console for the Preserver set with an additional 4% pen and the ability to have penetration modded weapons. I don't know how they would all stack up if they would stack, but if they did, you're just ignoring weapons at that point, like shields at that point.
Yep. And in this ship here, really, when it comes down to it, is a beautiful ship. They've done a great job on it.
Get a little bit closer. So my helmsman will not scratch your paint. Here's a new ship. Mine's dealt with a lot. Alright. Oh yeah, turn off the UI. See, look at that. Oh, you can't come in my shuttle bay. Let's just get, oh yeah. I even like that texture.
Yeah, I mean, as it is right now, I have not modified this ship. This ship is vanilla flavor when it comes down to it. The only thing I have done to this is just drop in my fleet engines just to be able to fly a little faster to get over here.
And it's, to me, I don't know if you're looking at your aft view. It's got 4 red impulse engines.
Yep.
It almost makes it look like an X-Wing fighter.
Oh yeah. So
that is a nice looking ship.
You know, these ships here are a reason why I will probably start playing my Federation character a little more than I was before.
Well, it gives you a ship that you can actually use.
Yeah, this is a beautiful ship, and I will tell you right now, when it comes down to it, I wanted the Narcine Dreadnought so bad that I got it on 3 captains. Wow. That's how much I like that ship. So, but these ships here are so nice that, you know, I would probably look at using it again on this Federation captain who's only level 57 and has a long ways to go before she's done. You know, one thing you probably can't see, and I got the video going right now for it on my side, is it has this little bridge thing that goes from one of the 2 top engine exhaust over the center spots. So you can see this little piece of earth through the ship itself.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You might be able to get it if you get the right view on this.
What the? Okay then.
That is a bug.
That is a bug, and now that it's on YouTube especially, yeah. Though it was nice to record.
You know, it's kind of fun to see what those things can do, and it's amazing just how much entertaining those are when you got a group of at least 5 ships dead in front of you.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I can see 5 popping that off in the very beginning of ISA. So all you have is you have all the normal beam weapons or cannon weapons, but you see this massive, and I mean massive barrage of micro torpedoes going everywhere.
Oh yeah, it's very entertaining, needless to say. And I was talking with Odin about it earlier. I mean, the nice thing about that console alone for him is it's got a 25% mine and torpedo damage increase. So all of his other stuff is going to get a boost from the that console alone, and you can get it up to about 1,000 to 1,300 or so damage from the one shot, and it's like it does like a half-second interval shot times like 10 or 15 seconds.
That doesn't sound bad at all.
No, not at all. Is this guy seriously sending us a bunch of...
Yes, hold on. Not my team. And ignore player. Thank you.
But,
yeah, it's
you know...
be nice and add friends in, because I don't mind helping people, but, I mean, come on. Just, if someone is not speaking to you right now, and they're obviously declining PvP challenges, don't spam it. It's just
Yeah.
green.
Yeah. The
Well,
only thing
all right, guys. This has been running a little long. Me and Scott are probably going to talk about this more, try and get more details out. Of course, we do have the third piece of the Preserver set, the console, coming out next week. We're going to, of course, be looking at these pilot ships to do further discussions. So, who's beaming down? Are you beaming down? All right,
Yeah.
I'll beam down with you. So, we are going to be looking at that soon. Until next time, guys, I'm Timberwolf.
and I'm Scott.
And we will see you guys in the next video. As I beam down, I'm signing off. Alright, cool. That's done.
Yeah, I was just beamed down so I can change ships real quick. I want to take a look at the other. I want to take a look at the other ones real quick. See, if I have to actually buy a couple more slots, which I have.
Let's see how big this file end up being. Yeah, that's good.